This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
That's a lot of employees.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
How can you be happy doing that?
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Whoa!
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Meeting room? The Stanley Parable is goated. It is friendly? Alright, bet. Where's the meeting room at? There's so many doors. There's so many doors. Am I going the right way? I feel like I'm in the back room.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Alright.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Where is it? Friday they stole viewers from us? What do you mean? Scorpion? Maybe when Item Asylum get out? Oh. Oh.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
I didn't know there was something in there. Oh.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
That hurt my eye. So bright. To be rich is a crime. To commit crimes, isn't it rich? What a life it would be to have to pick just one. Okay, I do not commit crimes. Big streamers? Hey, Scorpion, that's how it goes. Still the viewers. It's my boss's office right here.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him, and so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to
what's happening? What's happening?
Code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Let's go. What is this? Okay. Where are we going?
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Legit the back rooms? It maybe is the back rooms, John.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control.
Mind Control? They can't mind control me.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
What is this? Is this Squid Games?
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
How is mind control? There's a lot of cameras.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
I watch TV in this room. John, you want to talk about iPad kids? iPad kids will probably have Coco Melon on each one of these and just watch. Imagine putting KSI Thick of It on every TV and listen to it. Oh, now that is perfect.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
I'm not blind.
But
isn't this the game where you were playing where you picked the case and it said you were yeah,
controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Alright, bet. But I'm at to dismantle it. Whoa, what happened? I don't know.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Probably.
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet,
freedom!
Even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But
freedom!
As sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his.
Is that the game, really?
And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin.
We free! Freedom!
The feeling of liberation. The immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Was that it? Why am I back?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
What? Didn't I beat it?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
I'm gonna
he
go right.
entered the door. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
What is this?
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he
Whoa!
wasn't fired years ago.
What is this room? This game has countless endings, so, okay.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for... This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Who's she? Whoa, 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 whoa!
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this.
Who is it? Better not be the hot tour girl. Where am I?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right.
I got a girlfriend!
Okay, there we go.
Woo!
All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha!
Demo!
Come on. Did you actually think you had...
Why?
Is
Is this the life of a streamer?
I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see
Oh
something.
my God.
Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
This game, bruh. I thought I had a... Bro, this is the life of a streamer, man. I'm done. Is this really my life now? Is this what I'm destined to be? Oh my gosh.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Death!
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Press N.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
I feel like Stanley. The life of a streamer is to never find love. Firmly, I think you're right.
But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Press U to watch TV.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Time with the boys? We gotta spend time with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through
Whoa.
this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
A game with the baby, Stanley Parable. Is this really what it is? I got an Ice Spice ad. Dalton Stream forcing Ice Spice ads on... What Ice Spice ad? What is she advertising? What?
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer.
What?
How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this.
Chat
that
rip.
in this world, he can never be anything but an observer. That as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
I ain't pressing it. What are you gonna do? Force me to press it? They can't force me to press a button. This game thinks it can force me to press a button. It can't. I'm not gonna press it. Okay, how long do we gotta sit here for? Chat. Chat, do we have to press the button, really? It's gonna force me to press the button, ain't it? Dang. Okay, I'm pressing it. It's been way too... Hang on, I'm gonna wait for this red arrow to get to 12. Don't tell me I'm gonna wait like 9 hours and it'd be like, there you go, you finally achieved your achievement. Okay, I'm pressing it.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself?
No.
How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Why? To question nothing.
I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again.
Please die!
And Stanley
What?
pushed a button. And I tried.
Huh? I died!
All of his co-workers were gone.
Oh
What could
my
it mean?
gosh, it's a cycle.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
New content.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Move door. Okay, can't go that way. New content. Woohoo! We got content, boys. We got content. Content was running a little bit low.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
For real? It's old
After
game.
receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Me too.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Hey, mesmerizing. Then we got into the DC already? Yep. Half-Life. Okay, we're not playing Half-Life.
Is it broken?
What?
What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go.
There we go, we're going.
All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Woo!
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
So, they took me all the way here just for me to work out. Where can I get the new content? Okay, we're not doing needles. I better ace this. I got good fingers. Perfect. Okay, now I can't jump no more. Oh, wow, you disabled it. Why have it in the game if you want to disable it?
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
Is that it?
Another elevator. Stanley,
This
I
is
have to
content?
say,
Really?
Initial
Me jumping in a
impressions
circle
of this
is
game
content?
are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Thank you for enjoying the new content.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally
Exactly, on Twitter.
It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about.
Is that the content?
No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Looks like I don't got a choice, do I? So, where am I? I hate Mondays? Okay.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent.
What are you doing in there?
I want to show you something.
Screwdriver. Does that say coffee nut? Ugh, that's nasty. That's nasty. That's nasty. Ugh, that's nasty.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret.
Bro, look how beautiful this is.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
It's impossible to get this achievement. Really? Go outside, don't play for 5 years, and I get an achievement. What? Isn't that Grand Theft Auto? The workers be having a bit too much. John, do not get me started on the coffee. Oh, I want to sit on that bench.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing
They should put you in the game?
original
Exactly,
Stanley
John.
Parable was.
Put me in the game.
It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them.
Skyrim.
And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Elevator content. Go down. Oh. We cannot go down. I didn't want to go down anyways. Okay, person of the year, you cannot see them. Oh, now that's a car. That's the type of car I want. Like, you know, Lamborghinis and stuff. I don't want a Lamborghini. I want that.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
For real?
Oh. These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again.
Back in 2013,
Wait,
I'll be
hang
7.
on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
What is this?
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to...
Whoa!
I'm trying to make a serious work of art.
Bro, trying to kill me.
I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Where are we going?
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you
Yeah,
can.
kind of.
Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh, dear.
Where are we
What an
going? Is this
awful
the
memory
bonus
to have to
content?
hold on to. These black marks are my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling. What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
True.
A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. What if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record? Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable.
Whoa!
That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Skip
And
button.
here it is. Go ahead. Oh, you're back, you see? You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal...
I don't want to hear them.
Well, there's sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes?
I ain't speaking for too long. What's good, buddy? Stanley Parable.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen.
12 hours?
I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really... Oh, Stanley, you're back.
What happened?
You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week.
He'd been talking for a week? Okay, yep.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through.
What's happening? Are we fine? He ain't here no more. What is that? Is that a grenade? Stop skipping? What happens if I skip?
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned. They screamed. They gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us. Now he won't show.
Yeah, I'm done with that talking. Yep, he's gone.
The end is never the end, is never the end, is never
Where is
the
he?
end, is never the end.
That broke him?
End is never the end, is never the end, is never the end.
Don't tell me I broke him.
The end is never the end.
Okay, he started rambling. Am I just lost? Whoa, what happened? Oh my god, it came through. Oh, light. Told you? Aren't we supposed to press the button? The point of the button is to press it. Oh, look at this garden. We need some tomatoes. Ladder. Oh, I can't use it. What happened? Is this becoming becoming a horror game? Because I do not like it. Oh. Yo! Yep, it's becoming a horror game. Oh, freedom. Whoa! Is this freedom? Now, bro, you started the apocalypse? I started apocalypse? Where do I go from here? Do I just walk away and leave? Or do I go back and skip the button? Now I'm walking, I'm leaving. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going somewhere. Am I supposed to be walking or I'm supposed to press the button still? Hey, we gone. What happened? We're back at the beginning.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could
Haha,
it be?
hey, at least
Stanley
we escaped.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
New content? Got my name written all over it.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
We got new content, boys. Sand dance. We ain't got no sand dance. Content, boys, content.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original
Sand
Stanley
spiders?
Parable
I don't
was
think
a
that's
wonder,
sand spider.
and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step
Well, where'd it
even
go?
further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
What? Oh. The game is never...
Yes, you see, isn't this far
end.
superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Exactly. The new content's about to be lit. Exactly, from this is going to be
Calling
the
it the
most lit
Stanley
content.
Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there.
Okay, he
it's
said artistic. I thought he
future-oriented.
said something
It
else.
screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Australia has
Now,
been
to be
making
clear,
more and more
I
spiders.
haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it.
Rum.
I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy
New
magic
content.
than anything scientific or logical, really.
The spiders are probably bigger than humans. How is spiders getting so big now? They need to start squashing them.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Merch. Where do I go? Where do I go? Please no screenshots. Yep, we're going in it. No screenshots.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
I like the color blue.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well
What?
Someday it is.
Bro asked me what
Richard,
balloon to pick and he didn't
maybe
even
I should
use
have
it.
gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Bro, why did you ask for my opinion if you're gonna not use it anyways? What? That's crazy to me. That's crazy. New plus easy achievement. Easy achievement? Yep, got my name written all over it.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes, you see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Alright, bet. Your opinion is invalid. How do I got an invalid opinion? Why did I get a chicken Big Mac ad? John, I don't know. They be going crazy. So wow, so I went all the way over here for an achievement for no reason. Wow. I see how it is. Man, so I just wasted my time going over here. I see how it is. I just wasted my time.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Can you find them all? Whoa!
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
1 out of 6. Am I gonna find all 6 of them? Collect them all. I don't think I'm gonna collect them all.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Okay, where do we go now? The jump circle.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle?
Yep.
Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
Bro, come on now. Is anything else up here? That's new. The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Oh, perfect. Dalton Goffrey, they should know my name. This is gonna be perfect. Hear your name in the game. Alright, bet. Ha ha ha!
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course,
Too big.
The first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
There's no way it's gonna guess my name. Ain't no way.
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says
My
the
name ain't Jim.
But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim. Sleeping
I am
and
not
waking
Jim.
as Jim. Falling in love.
Jim.
Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory. If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name. Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first. Now, allow yourself to become Jim. Imagine yourself driving to work as Jim, playing Frisbee on the weekends.
Who plays
as
Frisbee?
Jim, staying
Jim
up all night for
Jeffrey.
a popcorn and horror movie sleepover as Jim.
Ain't no
Developing
way.
a crippling substance addiction as Jim. Rediscovering yourself through fringe religious groups as Jim. And finally,
crazy.
dying a slow death at an old age, surrounded by members of your cult as Jim.
Colt!
Do you feel it in your soul? Are you really, truly Jim right now?
I
If
am
so,
not
then
Colt.
please step forward and press the button.
I am not in a cult. Ah. It's gonna make me press it, ain't it?
Jim.
Yes, you see? What a thrill, what a rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
You're Jim John. I am not a cult leader.
Jim.
It hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Wow.
Jim.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away.
What?
Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose
Jim.
all
Jim.
sense of who
Jim.
you actually
Jim.
are.
Jim.
Wow, he removed it. Crazy man. See, he didn't know my name anyways. Too big is way better. See, they've run out of content.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature. An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it would go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Oh. That's what we was doing. Okay, let's go to the very top then. The reassurance bucket. I gotta do the bucket, don't I? The reassurance bucket. Wow, they changed the name to the button that says Jim. Wow. This door was closed before. Cult leader Jim Free. Okay, I'm not a cult leader.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game.
I
It's the
bet.
Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You
A
see,
bucket.
Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me.
This is
than
content.
actually
A
redesigning
bucket
the
is
game to
content.
be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Why are you laughing?
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well?
Charisma.
I
Already
think
got
just
charisma. I'm
holding
gonna be
it
honest. Already
has
got
made you the
charisma.
slightest bit more attractive as a person.
I am.
The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they?
Thank you.
All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm way more handsome. You heard him. I'm handsome. Okay, bet. We got a bucket now, and we can't drop the bucket, so we're fine. Oh, can't drop bucket.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Collectibles. I don't think we gotta collect anything. Oh, we already been through that, didn't we? Now it's time to go to the very top. We gotta see what's at the top. Bro, you heard him? Charismatic. I already am charismatic. Let's be for real. I already am a little charismatic. The bucket must be used for something. Settings, world champion. Yeah, I'm world champion. What is the bucket used for, you think? Used for something? Alright, bet. Then it's used for getting the achievement. Still invalid achievement. Wow. John, I don't know what the bucket was used for. I might have to use it for like peeing in it? I'm not gonna pee in the bucket. Where do we go? I'm going to the top. Like in life. When life you have nowhere to go, you just go, oh yeah, we already went this way. Okay. Well, we gotta go to exit. I think we went this way, didn't we? Yeah. Yeah, we already went there. Did I go down this hallway? I know there's an exit way. I don't know about this way. Opening. What is this?
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Yo, chat! Do I go down the hole? Do I go down the hole? What y'all think, chat? Oh, I almost went down the hole. I'm literally off the edge right now. Yo, chat, what I do? Go off the edge, go off it? You know what? Hey, content. What's happening?
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
How long do we fall for?
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Well, look how far it's getting.
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a...
I'm at the end!
Hey, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found
Cigarettes!
that, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
I'm the problem.
Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree
What did
to
I
just
say?
call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
Yeah, we got nothing to do here. Wow, he's a
Great.
liar.
Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
So we just found out that he's a liar. So he's gonna lie to me about it. Jumps in there again? What do you mean? You jump down it again?
Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A
Like
normal
holes.
person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time?
Yep.
I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. Gosh, how could I have guessed?
Yep, we're back in the hole.
If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep. Even by
Exactly.
the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is.
Whoa.
How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
It's not working.
Is the, teleport button not working? You sure?
Yeah, I'm
Well, I
sure.
mean, I really don't have an explanation. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley.
What?
You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else.
Bro's leaving me.
Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
What? What's happening? Oh, it's going down. Peak! Peak! Okay, how low is it gonna go? Dang! That's me! Woo! That's Stanley! What? Change your perception? Not that one. Yeah, that's it. Change your reality? Where are we? Bro, we got dinosaurs. Dogs! Okay, I want the dogs back. We got the beach. We got Stonehenge. Plane. Organisms. We're gonna keep the dog. Change yourself.
My main goal is to blow up and then act like I don't know nobody.
Thank you, Espresso. Espresso Ray, W Espresso. W Espresso. Let's see if Thank you, Espresso. Thank you, Espresso. Thank you for the raid.
Stanley! Stanley! Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland.
Where did I
But
go?
we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the
I like the
looks of
dogs.
things,
Stanley Parable
you
is
and
a
I
fun
will have
game.
many,
Nero,
many years
this is my
here
first
in
time
this
playing it.
hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodlepip.
Don't tell me I'm gonna go. Can I leave this hole? We're going back down again, ain't we? Oh. Think it's over with. Well,
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
what do you mean new features? Ain't no new features. Exit. That's what we need. We need to leave this place. So this is Parable the Yep. Yeah, we got stuck in a hole, John. That's the new Parable.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Yep.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work.
I don't know.
There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Jump circle.
I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better.
This
I
ain't it,
could've-
Chief. This is not
Here we
it,
go.
Chief.
Version 2.
What is that?
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game.
I still got this bucket. How do I get rid of the bucket?
I suppose it could, but it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
At what? Oh. We're playing Stanley Parable 2!
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
This is the
Stanley
same
decided
one!
to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley picked up the bucket.
Got the bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
So I already went this way before. And I might go the other way this time.
And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Can I go down? I don't know where I'm going, John.
Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
We care about you, Stanley?
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've
My
come together
friend, who
here
is
because we
this?
care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story
They want me to
involving
get rid of the
Adventure
bucket?
Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it. Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
This better not be copyright.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue? Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
No!
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for
I
the
am
fans,
not
Stanley.
addicted to
Let's
drugs
give
and
them
I'm not
more
addicted to
content
hookers.
exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
What? Do I gotta get rid of the bucket?
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me, it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along.
I got
Don't
to.
you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does?
Destroy the
Surely you
bucket.
don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
Do I have to? Hang on. Maybe this door. Oh, I have to. Dang.
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear
I'm
you
trying to
saying,
insert it, it's
how
not
does a
working.
character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so
not
densely
working.
loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The Broom Closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for
Okay,
after
what's
this.
happening?
Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket
Whoa,
Destroyer.
whoa,
until you
whoa!
crush that damn bucket. Quickly now. The fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry
I'm
and-
trying!
Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation.
I
You had so
tried.
much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories
R.I.P.
about
Stanley.
you. All of it squandered now.
Rest in peace in chat for
Goodbye,
Stanley.
new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
Dang. Am I still in heaven, or is this it? Red, how you didn't throw the bucket in? I tried to, Cheeto.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Do I grab the bucket again or don't? You know what? I'm not gonna grab the bucket this time.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Alright, let's go left this time.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go, oh no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say... Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I'm going downstairs.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe...
Is this just a cycle?
Maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense.
Am I
As
going in a
Stanley
cycle?
pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled.
Bro,
this
says
is
a
all
dream.
a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon.
Is this just
Go
an endless
back to my
cycle?
boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Whoa,
Then
what's
he
happening?
imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating
If
everything
I
that
just
I'm doing
stop,
and thinking?
can I just...
Now the
Perfect.
voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all,
Why did I go
he knew
backwards?
for
Can I just go
certain, beyond a
backwards?
doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world...
Finally,
outside
we're
this
escaping
one.
that.
Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please. It's all I want.
Pressing buttons.
I want my apartment and my wife.
Yep.
And my job. All I want is my
that job.
life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
Oh. Finally.
I am okay.
I'm still here!
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my
What
voice?
is happening?
Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Bro.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This man
Oh my gosh!
Everyone knows what crazy people look like.
The foreshadowing.
And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this.
Stanley Parable
and in a
truly is
certain
something
way,
you're not
seeing
wrong,
this
friendly.
man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life.
Oh my
She had
gosh.
no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Then you didn't call the cops! You don't call the cops when you see somebody laying on the ground?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was
How?
sublime,
If you
a work
saw
of
someone
art.
laying on the
But
ground,
eager to
you
get
do
back
not
to
go
business,
to it.
Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I'm not going to the first. Content.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Karma's gonna come that
You've
woman's
been
way.
neglecting, Stanley.
Definitely.
Someone you've forgotten about.
Collectible. How do I get that
Stop
collectible
trying
down
to
there?
make every decision by
I need that
yourself.
collectible.
Now, I'm not asking for me. I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life.
Her.
She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley.
Okay.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the
I
oven.
got a woman!
Oh.
I got a wife!
Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Again!
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you
I
actually
fell
think
for
you
it
were in
twice!
life? Who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
There's a saying. There is a saying. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Hey, shame on you it is. I'm done. We are not playing the Stanley Parable anymore. Oh my gosh. Clip it, John. Why do we need to clip it? John, ready? I thought it had alternate endings, right? I thought the ending was different. So I thought they would actually give me the good ending where I have a woman. What the hell happened? They did it. It was the same thing.